Hey Seth, what are we looking at over here?
Well, I have an axle seal leaking, and that's just gonna leak because I'm not touching it today. What's up, guys? Welcome back to TBN Off-Road. We are back in the shop today, and it is freezing in here. It's the middle of January in Ohio. There's about a foot of snow outside, but the JK needs some attention. If you saw our last video from Windrock, I found a leaky axle seal, I think on day 2 of that trip. It wheeled fine, I didn't lose too much fluid, but it needs addressed. So we're gonna get into it, rip the Jeep apart, and get that seal fixed. Let's get after it. If you guys are thinking about doing this job yourself, it's really not that difficult. You're going to need your basic mechanic tools like most jobs, but you will need either access to or your own shop press to press the bearing back on. A slide hammer or some race pullers are also helpful, but we'll get into that in a sec. So now that the wheel is taken off, we are going to remove the caliper bolts, which are right here. There's one here, one on the bottom, and then we will take the caliper and the rotor off. And then we will take off the flange nuts for the axle and slide the whole thing out. The flange nuts and the caliper bolts are 18 millimeter. All right, 2 bolts are out. We will take the caliper off. This might need a little, oh no, thought it might need some convincing. Sometimes you gotta give that a love tap, but it was good. If you got something to zip tie it or somewhere to set it, that works well. You're just really trying to keep the caliper from falling off. So I took the caliper bolts and I just put them right back in the holes that they go in just so I don't lose them. But now we've got to take off these 4 flange bolts. There's 2 up top, 2 on the bottom. Once I kind of break those free, I just move to a 18 mil ratcheting wrench. It just ends up being a little easier. And these bolts, you'll see, go onto a retainer on the axle. And this is what actually holds the axle into the Jeep. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but the ABS sensor back here is going to be in the way of the axle actually coming out. I'm going to take this rotor off and show you the other end of this. We got to take this out. So as I take this rotor off, it's kind of hard to see, but right here is your tone ring and your ABS sensor. I'm not going to be able to pull this whole axle out without removing that ABS sensor. So there is a bolt right up top here, retaining bolt. It's an 8 millimeter bolt. We'll take that out and then we'll slide the axle out. Normally you can just grab that with your hand. There we go. This bolt's very easy to lose, so set it somewhere you're not going to lose it. And this ABS sensor, I don't disconnect it, I just kind of wiggle it. And it should slide out. Sometimes they're a little stiff. There we go. That's all we need. I don't need to take it all the way out. I just need to get it out of the way. Now I've got 3 lug nuts. I'm going to take the rotor. I'm going to put it back on the axle, but I'm going to put it on backwards. And I'm going to take my 3 lug nuts and screw them on about, I don't know, 5 or 6 turns. And just kind of set them opposite each other. Now, we might get a little diff fluid coming out. I've got a little rag underneath there. I'm going to use this rotor like a slide hammer. So I'm just going to pull real hard. It should pull the axle out of the locker unless the axle's bent. So we will find out together. All right, nice and easy. I've had this apart a ton. If you guys have watched the channel at all, you know I just redid that whole rear end. So that was easy. Cool. So let's get this out. We'll take a look at that seal and then move on to next steps. Okay, well, I set it on the vise here, and I've already seen the problem. So the way this works, this is your seal. This is the wheel bearing. And this is the retainer that holds everything down. I went to go look at the seal, and I realized it moves. I looked at this a little bit more off camera. The seal itself does move a little bit, but the bearing has way too much play in it. So I think just the bearing having a ton of play, maybe that retainer slid a little bit, and it was just allowing the seal to kind of move around and wear out, not seal anymore like it was supposed to. I've got another axle here, and you can see none of this stuff moves. So now we're going to have to cut the retainer off with a grinder. We'll cut the cage of the bearing. Basically break all that apart, slide it off the axle shaft, slide the seal off the axle shaft, and then I've got new parts to put all new on there. When you start cutting this off, the biggest thing is to make sure you don't cut all the way through. You do not want to nick that axle shaft because you need a good bearing surface to press the new bearing back on. So I cut 90% of the way through and then used a punch or a chisel to kind of separate the retainer, and then it slid right off. Okay, cage is broken free. Should be able to just, there we go. Keep opening that up. That's gonna come off in pieces. Yeah, there we go. See, the cage is pretty soft. It's not going to require much effort. You got all the ball bearings. All right, cage is off. And then we just need to cut this race off. Same thing, just got to be careful we don't get into this guy. For this final race, it's best if you cut at a 45-degree angle. You'll see I kind of use an X pattern here. You're trying to keep the cutting disc away from that axle retainer and still give yourself room to get a chisel in there to break the race apart. There we go. All right, bearing is off, race is off. And seal. Seal honestly didn't look too bad, but the fact that everything's moving around means we're going to fix it all. So now I'm going to take maybe a little bit of sandpaper. Yeah, because that's been moving. Take some emery cloth and some brake cleaning stuff. We're going to clean all this up, and then we'll move over to the press. So we still have to get this inner race out. And I've just got like a slide hammer here from Harbor Freight with just the single puller end. I'm going to see if that works on it. And if not, we'll kind of escalate if we need to, but let's see. Yeah, it's just kind of sliding off. Might need a different end. I'm trying like a square hook end here to pull this race out. All right, there we go. Race is out, and honestly, it didn't look terrible, but the other one comes with a new race. So we will clean this one up and move on to pressing the new bearings on. Okay, new parts. I've got a set 10 bearing from Timken, and then a Timken seal, which is 9912S. So I went ahead and opened all those. Let's go ahead and get them on. So the seal is going to go first. You can see maybe there is a, there, you can see the spring. This is going to go on just like this. The spring side is going to be facing away from the end of the axle. So this will slide on. Got a retainer on there, and this just kind of presses on. Now we've got the bearing. And like I said, this bearing comes with the race on it. That's why we had to pull the old one. And you can see that there's, you know, the actual race, then the it would be, I guess, the cage race. So it is going to go on basically just like this. It's going to slide on until you basically get to the shoulder. And then we've got our retainer. That's going to slide on after that. We've got all that on there. We'll take it over to the press. All right, there you can see I've got it in the press, and we've got retainer, bearing, and then the seal is up there. As you start to press the bearing on, you want to make sure that it is aligned on the shaft. So every so often you'll see me stop and spin the bearing just to make sure it's not binding up. I ended up running out of travel on my press, so I actually grabbed an old race and used it as a spacer to finish the job. So, just to make sure this is fully seated, you can kind of see there's that shoulder, and the bearing is touching that shoulder. This seal will move. It's not tied down to anything, which is fine. But previously our bearing was sliding around, and now that's solid. That's just the outer race moving on the cage. So we got everything pressed on. We will put it back in the Jeep. Now we just basically do the reverse of everything we just did. Slide this baby back in. This is going to be a little stiff because that race has got a seat. And you kind of got to walk this in This has got to be this way. There we go. Now, and here, I'll show you. So typically when you reinstall the axle, it just slides right in. And then these retainer bolts will stick out the back, and you can just put a nut on them. So I think I'm going to have to give this a few love taps, because you can see right back in here that race has not seated yet. So I'm just going to hit the center of this axle, try to drive the whole thing in so that it'll start to seat that race, and it'll let these stick out just enough that I can put a nut, and then those will squeeze everything together. Now we'll throw the retaining bolts on the back. So now you can see we've got some good bolts stick out in the back here. And I can put these nuts on. Kind of got to shove one finger in and run these on the back. And then when I tighten these, I'm not going to tighten one like all the way. It'll just be kind of work your way around so it pulls everything flush and pulls it all, you know, kind of in one direction. You just don't want to pull that axle in, especially with that seal needing to seat. You don't want to pull it in at an angle, but it's going to be pretty hard to do that now that the axle's seated. Now it's a little hard to see on camera, but I can look in here and I can tell that this flange is fully seated. So that tells me that the axle has fully seated that race. So everything should be good to go. I got to put the ABS sensor on next. Forgot to mention the torque setting here on these bolts, or these nuts, is I think it's 45 foot-pounds. It's really, really hard to get a torque wrench. There's no real like kind of extension. There's nowhere for it to go. So sometimes you just got to use redneck torque, and snug is good to go. All right, ABS sensors back in. Little 8 mil. All right, rotor is next. I'll spray that off at the end. Come on, big girl. Okay. And then caliper. That is pretty dirty. Let's go ahead and clean all this off. Hopefully there's no gear oil in there, but to be safe, we'll at least spray it off. So, caliper. Alright, and then the caliper bolts themselves, I always put red Loctite on. We actually were out in Moab a couple years ago, and I had a caliper bolt back out, and got stuck in the wheel, and ended up ripping all the wheel weights off. So, a little red Loctite goes a long way. I'm sure there's a torque setting for these, and I have this thing apart so many times, we just go with a good heave-ho. All right, brakes back together, time for the wheel, we're good to go. Oh, we're so close. Here we go. Last but not least, we're going to torque all the lug nuts. I just go to 100 foot-pounds. Well, overall, not too bad. You do need a press. You might need a slide hammer to get that race out, but overall, pretty simple job. We broke a lot of stuff last year. We've got a lot of build videos like this coming up, so stay tuned for those. Meanwhile, we're going to go take this baby on a test drive. If you guys would like more behind the scenes content, at TBN Offroad, Facebook and Instagram. And if you'd like to support the channel, head over to tbnoffroad.com and pick up some of your merch. We will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.